Okay, it didn't do the other one.
Oh,
That was weird. We're here. I don't know what.
That sneaked up on us.
Oh my
Looks like
Yeah.
it looks like you replaced the.
I was
second
ready,
video.
damn it! I was ready. I was the only one.
I gotta.
Everybody
restart
saw
my stream
our
deck.
true selves where we're just sitting here looking pissed off at our phones.
No,
Yeah, I
had
think
my,
that the
my
stream deck just isn't
D20
working
ready.
right, so I have to restart it. What were you saying?
I said I had my D20 ready for the
Oh,
stream
yeah.
to start.
Yes,
I'm
you did.
ready.
You guys are skipping again. One second.
You did. All right,
And
so
Dylan's
let's
dead.
see what's going on here. Oh, no, that's okay. All right. So here we are. There was no full intro, so I guess we can just.
We're down a player. We're down a player.
Sophie had a little emergency with her fur baby, so she's gonna go take care of that, and hopefully everything comes out good out of that. But we wish the fur baby the best, obviously. I don't know. Are we all pet parents? I know me and Marie obviously are. And I know Mickey is.
And Bryce.
Yes.
And I don't know about Dylan. Dylan is.
I don't have one. I always grew up with them, but I don't have one.
Too busy having real ones.
Yeah, I'm too busy with the real babies.
If you have to disappear, we'll know it's because your wife went into labor.
I told her she has to hold them until D&D's done. So
Okay.
we'll.
That's
I've
gonna
got at least
work.
until midnight.
Until that water breaks, and it's like you don't have a choice.
Can't you just put it in a bucket and like hold on to it?
Right, just sit in the bathroom. It's
Yeah,
fine.
not how labor works, Bryce. But that's okay.
That's not how any of this works.
I'm very well aware how this works. I just like to be stupid.
Unless you've had one yourself, you're not aware how this works.
He does have one.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't, and I have had many discussions with my sister about how it works.
Now I
It
will
worked
say
for my
this:
son.
when I had my kidney stones, and I've heard multiple other women say this too. My nurse said, "I've had kidney stones. I've had a baby. I'd rather have another baby." So
I've heard that. Like, I was in nursing school once upon a time, and I heard that about knee surgery, like recovering from like a knee replacement. Yeah.
I've
can
got
imagine
two of
that.
those
I mean,
in my
I had-
fucking future.
oh really? Jesus.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've had orthoscopic surgery on my back for a herniated disc, but
Same.
it hurt when like the first 3 days, 4 days afterwards. But it was just the surgery site, which really hurt.
Mhm.
But then
So
it wasn't that
my
bad.
herniated disc, like, it hurt for about a week, and then it stopped for some reason, and then I got the surgery, and like was totally fine afterwards. Like, the next day I went for a walk around my neighborhood, and then I went back to see the neurologist or the neurosurgeon who had removed it, and he was like, "You must be very stoic because that was big," and I was like, "It did not."
I had to sit for a year with, because it was a workman's comp issue. I had to sit for a year with it,
Mhm.
waiting, and I had the radiculopathy going on, and
That
all this
was
stuff.
That was
like-
the worst pain.
Did you call it a radicinopoly?
No, radiculopathy.
I was about to say that
It's
sounds like a
basically
shitty version of Monopoly, buddy. I don't know if I believe that.
It's basically
I
like
don't know, it
it's
could be
basically the
interesting.
radiating.
It could
The
be fun.
radiating. It's kind of like the sciatica pain, but much more intense.
It
going all
sounds
the
like
way
a
down
sausage party, though,
your
for
leg
sure.
and stuff like that.
It's Monopoly, but no rules.
That's what it
Maybe
sounds
this is
pretty good, right?
TMI.
That is
But,
pretty
like-
fucking painful.
I wasn't gonna say no to sex, so it was literally just on my back the entire time. There was no. We couldn't have it any other way. That's how it was for a year, basically. That's.
Do what you gotta do to
I
survive,
can-
man.
I can
Man, I
see
picked a hell of a
that.
time to go sober.
What a terrible decision you've made generally.
Yes.
We're all alcoholics here.
Thanic's like sober.
Sorry, buddy. I
What is
don't
this?
want to be. I don't
What is-
want to be tempting.
What is this word?
Well, I mean, I
This
just
is
No,
started.
my
ever since
carbonated
I've
water.
found the love of lemon lime.
You just no.
Now we know why
you've
you've been
Get
drinking
the
so
fuck
much.
out of here.
Pissing all of us off is what you love. You don't actually like it. You just like pissing us off by drinking it.
There is a point to that.
That's actually
I
super
thought it
funny.
was-
Every night after the stream ends, he goes to his bathroom and vomits all of the
Oh.
cucumber lime juice.
Cucumber,
Oh.
that's what it was. Cucumber.
Cucumber lime.
Cucumber lime.
I can't have it in my body anymore,
Oh.
but it messes with Mickey and Dylan, so I drink it.
In case anyone is wondering, my cat Loki is not afraid of cucumbers. That was apparently a thing. That was apparently
They think
a thing.
they think it's a snake.
Right. Loki,
I'm sure it looks like a lot of things.
Seriously though, if you haven't done that before we get started, look up cucumber cat videos. They're fucking hysterical. You'll see a cat shoot itself to the goddamn moon.
Now we gotta get one and bring it over to the kids' house because they have 2 cats, and now I gotta see what they're gonna
try
do.
it with Hermes
Trying to get
because
my shit.
Loki has never encountered a snake in his life. He has lived with me since he was 6 weeks old.
What kind of freaking snakes are you guys playing with over there that a cucumber looks like a snake? I mean, like I said, it looks like a lot of things. A snake.
Man, I'll tell you what, down here in
It is not
Kentucky,
to
the
a
smallest snake I
human's-
ever saw was
Baby,
fucking 12
baby.
inches deep.
It's not to a human's perception. To a cat, this thing looks like a snake. Okay, that's
I
what a
can hear
cat
Lunga.
thinks. Which makes me
I can
wonder.
hear Lunga.
Oh, he accidentally got muted. It's totally
Which
my
makes me
fault.
wonder.
Accidentally.
Maybe guys shouldn't be walking around naked around cats then, because that might be a problem too.
Not in my house. Let's go.
I don't know, Bryce. Have you ever had that issue?
I mean,
Then
Daddy,
you
you
ever-
would know that you've
checked
been
out.
naked around the cats.
My cat's
No.
not scared of my cat's not scared of a tadpole, so we're good.
Honey, my daughter and everyone else was living at the house, so I was not walking around naked on a regular basis. No,
we had the house to ourselves, kidless weekends.
no, it wasn't that often. Honey.
I will say, definitely no nakedness around kids, but I have to admit to everybody here and the 3 people watching the stream, I am definitely in underwear on the Saturday morning dads. They're secure. There's nothing accidentally falling out, but there's nothing better than just waking up and cooking bacon in my fucking underwear.
Mine is
I-
actually
Down
the
for it.
dogs.
No,
I have to wear
no.
something because the dogs want to sniff everything. I'm like, no, that's
Mhm.
I see your underwear on a Saturday morning, and I raise you taking off your pants and your bra as soon as you get home from work.
I
think that's
strip
fair.
immediately. That everything's got to come off.
Yep.
And I'm over here casually wearing jeans on in the middle of winter.
Right.
It's comfy.
Right, Bryce is just here like, I like socks.
jeans never touch my body unless I have to go out the door and out the door to somewhere other than like grocery shopping. Like if I gotta go to where I'm gonna be around people, like not at a store. Like,
Yeah,
white
he's lucky to
trash.
get me dressed to go to the store.
My peak white trash moment was me in ratty pajamas, like tank top shorts, with a can of cider in one hand, a cigarette in the other, going out to check my mail, and like my ratty ass like
Nice.
okay,
slippers.
let's just. I don't know how it always happens every weekend, but every time we go shopping, she's literally wearing her pajama pant bottoms. There's these white, fluffy
Or my
kind of
shorts. You
pajama
guys
pant
saw my
bottoms
shorts, right?
Mhm.
I wear those out in public.
with hearts
The ones that I
that
thought
are
were
like
underwear
floods.
last week.
No, she's worn.
No,
those
don't
story
lie to Marie. She thought Mickey thought it was a diper.
It's getting to. We're not
I
into
was
diaper
trying
play.
to
No,
soften
we
the
don't
blow.
do that.
But no, I totally get the comfort aspect, Marie. I have one. I have a pair of those myself.
Bryce just checked out. He's like, I'm done.
So I did actually panic for a second and think it was like an adult diaper, and I was like, what the fuck? Because the lighting
No.
the lighting was-
She popped up on our chat for about 30 seconds. Was just like, what? It's shorts.
Yeah, it's just,
Literally,
they're just booty
literally
shorts. They're just booty shorts.
No, they
Okay,
are booty shorts.
but
I
those
rec-
have been seen public.
All right,
I believe
we're
that.
here for D&D.
They're not even my
Maybe.
most scandalous pair either.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk. It's time to play D&D.
Right.
Last time,
This is
Console
the
6
shopping
for the
episode where
Dragon
people
Queen.
find out real life stuff about us.
About me.
The companions had
And the
joined the
diapers.
caravan and made their way out of Baldur's Gate, heading northwards, trying to gather information. Not sure what the information could be, but they need to find out something as they travel. Stevie and Fleur, and now Tiny, who they found that was captured by the cult are under traveling with the merchant Silva, and Thanik and Mal are traveling with Tommen, another merchant. And one's in, Silva's at the front of the caravan, Tommen is at the back of the caravan, and the dragon cult is smack dab kind of in the middle of the caravan. You guys started making your way north. And there was someone else that was with Tommen's. Yes.
I would like to clarify that Tiny is in Floor's pocket with apples,
still.
the mouse. And occasionally
Dobby came out. Yeah.
Dobby came out.
Hey, good on him for coming out.
I mean, when you guys were undercover, he was wearing a sundress, so I mean, he's not shy. You know, he's fluid. He doesn't care. So whatever works.
Good for him.
And there was another guard traveling with Thanik and Mal and Tommen's group by the name of Gemma Gleamsilver. Is traveling with you guys. And it was mid-morning. And you had seen Rezmir with 8 guards suddenly take off from the rest of the caravan, going ahead of it at a breakneck pace on horses, and they had just passed you all. And Thanik and Mal saw it, and I believe then I had Stevie and Floor do a check, and they saw it too, but you guys didn't do it. I think that's where we stopped.
Hmm.
Yes, and then we decided not to do anything. Because we're doing a job, damn it.
So here we are, first day on the road, going somewhere north. We know Silva is going all the way to Silva stopping at Daggerford, and Tommen is going all the way to Waterdeep.
Mal's just throwing rocks at Thanik's plate armor the whole time. Just
Still, this entertains you.
Your reactions entertain me.
I'll keep my cool for now, but
I throw a rock at his head.
we have a long journey. You can't do this the entire time.
You're right. We might run out of rocks. I'll save some. So yeah, Mal and Thanik are just making their way along.
As they're
Relationship remaining positive, currently tentative.
Stevie, as they're going along, is going to try and occasionally coax Tiny out, and like tell her stories of how they messed with the cult's day before, like, and we saved some dragon eggs from it. Like, just start telling Tiny the story of how they've been messing with the cult's plans, and are actively working against the cult.
Tiny is at the top of the pockets, still very scared because she sees her cage. And she's tentatively trying to hide herself, but still be around people because she's still very new to interaction with people. Now, Tiny will still be speaking in Draconic. Thank you. Draconic. But she is starting to get used to hearing Common Tongue. And she's starting to try to slowly but surely, 1 word at a time, getting used to talking Common again.
And as Stevie's hearing her try and start talking in Common, she'll start alternating between Draconic and Common, like just saying something in Common first and then translating into Draconic to help with that transition for Tiny.
How far have we gone?
This is still the first day.
Yeah, it's still morning. You guys just started. I mean, if there's anything you guys wanted to do now after what you saw with Rezmir, now's the time. Otherwise, we can move forward in time.
No, I think that was that's.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. I think the plan was to go through the day. If anything happens, obviously jump in, do what we need to do. But then we were gonna try and meet up, or Mal was gonna be sent off to be stealthy boy, at night.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I've thought about last week is as we do watch Rezmir run off, Is Tommen like particularly attentive to the people that he's paying to be around him, or for the most part is it just like slow doldrums, easy going on the road?
He seemed very adamant about at least the bodyguard being by him, so he would notice his big ass bodyguard leaving him. But he does seem more along the line of, if you remember the way I described how with him waking up late and it's like he leaves everything up to his guards and hired people to take care of shit. He just wants to.
He's pretty loosey goosey.
Yeah, Silva is more taskmaster.
Right, and Stevie would have no problem with that. Floor probably would. But my question is
5 a.m.
my question is at night, like I remember hearing, like, learning about the Oregon Trail in like 4th grade or whatever, and at night the long caravans.
The party contracts dysentery.
Not that. No, like at night the parties would kind of like circle up to kind of create more of like a protection, like a protective barrier at night.
Yeah. I mean, I'll get into that. I'll get it. I mean, there's a way they do. Yeah, they do something similar to that. At night,
you have to wait
for security. Yeah, we're not at night yet.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would recommend before we move forward is as we're watching Resmir run off, I've turned to Mal and just kind of walk on the other side of the wagon where Mal and Gleamsilver are, and just not terribly quietly, but just do you think that you can do the thing where you make yourself look different and head on up into the cult maybe a couple of times and see if we can't figure out where Resmir is gone?
Oh, you want me to go fishing?
I mean, I don't know if the girls saw anything that we saw, but if we need to take action sooner rather than later, then I would at least like to know what we're about to get ourselves into before we start gallivanting off into the night.
Yeah, I can go and try and dig up some information. Hey, Tommen. Cool if I track ahead a little bit, keep an eye out ahead of us for a little bit?
Huh? Yeah, sure. Keep
Nope.
it safe. Do what you gotta do. We're all the way at the back,
Will do.
so...
Okay, you two watch the back, and I will cast Disguise
He turns
Self on
back,
myself.
and he looks at Gemma, and she's just kind of sauntering in the rear behind, so she's like watching the rear for you guys. And he's like, looks at
And
her,
I'll stay next to
she
Tom
nods
just to make
back.
sure that nobody bitches about anything.
So, hold on.
You do
Spend a
notice,
spell slot.
Thanik, as Mal is about to make his way, the wagon right in front of you, you notice a freakishly tall man who's nearly your height. Looks like he's about 7.5 feet tall, walking with the wagon in front of you.
Got it?
That's not the Dragon Cult wagon, it's just another merchant wagon.
Yeah, it's just one of the ones that's in the trail.
Dragon Cult somewhere in the middle,
Okay.
correct?
So, with that said, after Thanik gives me this direction, Mal's going to cast Disguise Self, making himself be a human-esque version of himself, but with a really ugly-looking nose. And in full cult garbs. You know, and then he's just going to start making his way forward and try and blend in with the cult.
Okay. So there's no check on that one because you automatically look like them. So yeah, you walk up, you see them all kind of just walking along. A few are chit-chatting with each other. Are you like are you deciding to like blend in with them, or?
Yeah, so I'm going to like try and like act like I'm playing catch-up. Like, hey guys, sorry, I was a little late, I slept in.
What the hell? He starts counting heads, and he's like, man, I don't even know how many of us there are. Where the hell did you come from?
I was at the bar. I had fun with some people last night. It was a good time, and I overslept, and I played catch up.
You're lucky Resmir
Man.
left, because you'd be in some deep
Res-
shit.
Oh shit, Resmir left? Where?
You know this shit.
It was a
We
lot.
talked
man.
about
I'm
some
sorry,
shit that they
sir.
were talking about before. Something
I'd
about
get
the
paid
Mirror of the
minimum
Dead
wage
Men.
here.
Something about the Mirror of the Dead Men. Resmir has some business up there to take care of.
being a bard who's traveled around, can I make like a history check or something to see if I recognize this?
Yeah.
If you think I would have experience with that, but
I mean, you're traveled. Mal is quite traveled, so.
history check. 11.
All right. So with 11, you know that it's between Neverwinter and Waterdeep. It's kind of on the it's skirted on eastern edges by the foothills of the Sword Mountains to the east. You know it's a swamp, and you just know it's not the nicest of places.
Okay, so I gotta get my notes back up. Okay, so
Did I tell you? Yeah, I told you it was between Neverwinter and Waterdeep. Yeah.
between Neverwinter and Waterdeep. Okay, I'm sorry, Manuel. I just missed the briefing this morning. We're gonna stay on the. We're all going there, right?
I know we're headed as far as Rezmir goes. So if Rezmir's in the Mirror of the Dead, we're going at least that far.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I'll stop bugging you. I'm gonna go over here now, and I'm gonna like try and blend into a different side of the caravan, so I lose eye contact.
This guy. Do you think he even made it through the siege at Greenest? Probably late for that too.
And as soon as I break eye contact with him, I'm gonna try and like trail back away from him and drop my disguise self and get back to Thanik.
Okay. As far as trying to leave, since you just introduced yourself, you'll do a stealth check to get away from them without them noticing.
Now let's see how this goes. Stealth. Good news, that's a 6.
Mhm.
Wait, where the hell are you going? You just got here.
I'm sorry. Someone said there's a Goliath back here.
He's way back there. Don't worry about it. No. You get in the front by the horses now. Get up there. If you're up there, stay by them. Make sure you don't break an ankle or shit where we step in it. And he hands you a shovel. He's like, make sure you pick it up out of the way in case it drops anything while we're trying to get through here.
But sir, I really have to pee.
Did I stutter?
It's funny because you did. Did I just stutter? That's fucking awesome.
Well, sir, if I may insinuate, you did stutter there a little bit.
Oh, this guy's a joker. He's a joker, huh? You
Sir,
think it's
I
funny?
mean you, sir,
think
I
it's
mean you
funny,
absolutely no harm. I use no harm.
He throws
I'm
the
getting-
shovel at you.
Can I just like take the hit and then just collapse?
I mean, you can feign collapse.
I'm plain dead now.
Well, the shovel does hit you, since you're not trying to catch it.
Yep, I'm letting it hit me.
It does hit you.
Cool.
And that would be 3 points of damage.
I'm just being hit by minuscule damage this whole time. I got a dagger at the knee.
And now, if you're trying to feign being knocked out, I assume. So.
Yep.
Yeah, you would have. That would be a performance check.
Ooh.
Oh no, not for a bard.
Oh no.
I rolled a 2, but it's a 10.
That's fine. That's enough, actually. So
And I'm just
you
plain
fall
dead.
down on the
Isn't
ground,
that one of
and the
ones
guy
that
almost.
You can't roll below a 10?
No, that's for persuasion. This is my bullshit. This is
And
my.
they almost
my
all
bullshit.
trip on you, and they're like, "Oh, here we fucking go! This guy! I swear to God, pick him up, throw him in the wagon."
I'm going with it here, guys. I'm committed.
So they pick him
To
up
the bit.
and they throw you in the wagon. Are you acting all loosey? Are you not?
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
break
being
the fall?
loosey goosey at this moment.
You just okay. All right.
We're going for it.
I am a limp noodle person.
Beautiful.
Okay. So we're going here. All right. So so he throws you in there, and trying to perform so well that you are completely unconscious. You let your body just fly wherever it flies. It hits the backside, the one side of the wagon so hard that the wagon tilts. The horses buck, and it falls over.
Please tell me people are my heart you say this because this is just funny as shit now.
One of the crates tumbles out, and it smashes open. You can't see any of this because you're inside the wagon still.
Okay.
And that's all you know so far.
And I'm assuming this is far enough away that I can't see any of this shit.
You won't see it, but everybody's coming to a dead stop, so traffic jam for Thanik. Stevie and stuff, you guys are in front, so you guys are still going. You're not noticing. But Thanik, yours comes to a complete stop. You hear people shouting and screaming. You kind of see like a dust cloud up ahead, and everything comes to a stop.
Sometimes I have the worst ideas.
At this point, because my eyes are open, do I like the cart's tilted over? I'm sitting in there right now, right?
Yeah, you're inside the sideways turn thing. There's crates all over you. The one that flew out is the one that broke. It's outside of the wagon. You hear a lot of yelling and commotion going on around you, obviously, as you're inside the wagon.
Nice. While I have a second here, I'm going to cast Enhance Ability, and I'm giving myself advantage on dexterity checks quick.
Okay.
That'll last for an hour. And then after doing that, I am going to try and just like noodle my way out of this, go forward through the wreckage, and then just loop around, stealth check again, if I can.
Okay. Well, at this point, you don't have to do stealth. I mean, unless you're trying to make them not see you. They know you're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get out there
Gotcha.
without being seen.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that stealth check. Thanik, let's do you. Did you want to? Is there anything you wanted to notice or do that you saw going on up there?
So it came to we're at a complete stop now.
Yeah. Gemma runs up and she's like, "What the hell is going on up there?" This little gnome's like next to you.
Tommen, it's mid-morning on the first day, and we're already running into these sorts of issues. Do you mind if I walk forward, if Gleam Silver stays here, just so I can see what this fucking commotion is?
Oh, I'm not staying here. I'm gonna go with you. She calls. You see her pull the things, and out of the bushes from behind, you see two other guards that were hers that she brought along with. That's been trailing from the rear. And
I thought Tommen was a dude.
Tommen is a dude. She's talking about. He's talking about
Gemma.
Gleam Silver.
Oh,
Yeah.
Never mind.
So she does a little whistle, and you see these two other guards, human ones, male and a female, come out from the bushes along the side of the road. They've been obviously looks like they've been walking kind of like stealthily with you guys, and no one noticed. And they came up and they're standing next to Tom, and he looks up at you and Gleam Silver. He's like, "All right, go see what's going on. We can't sit here all day."
I'll go see if I could be of any assistance to get us going, and I'll head up there, I guess, with Gleam Silver with me.
Okay.
I got
now-
22 on my stealth to slip away.
All right, yeah. So you're able to climb out of that overturned wagon. As you climb out, the first thing you see is the crate that's broken. You see a bunch of cultists around it, yelling at each other, arguing, looking around, kind of wildly. And the crate is cracked open, and you see a ton of dozens of like beautifully wrapped jewelry. They're wrapped in wool. And they're all kind of spilled out. Can you give me a perception check?
Oh, I'm great at those guys.
Oh, flat D20. Hell yeah.
18.
Hey!
I told you I'm
You
great at
notice
these.
a couple of the items are stuff that you remember from the list in Greenest of stuff that was taken, mixed in with a bunch of other stuff that's not from Greenest as well.
Is there any of it like right by me that I can quickly like snatch something up as I'm stealthing away? Or...
Well, it was
Or is
about,
this like-
it's about from where you came out. It's about 6-7 feet away from you, and like I said, there's a gaggle of cultists all around it,
Not worth it. Not worth
and
it.
they're kind of
I'm not
looking,
going.
and they're looking around all over the place.
Yep. Sticking to the mission, stealthing out.
Trying to find that hook-nosed human that's in here causing trouble.
Oh wait, there's more with your perception check. So you hear the one guard that was yelling at you, going, "You see, what the hell, guys? We just had to throw him that fucking hard in a wagon." He's like looking around, kind of thing. He's like, Rezmir wanted to make sure this stuff was secure and secret. Look at people everywhere looking; they can see all this shit. If anyone asks any questions, you best shut him up for good.
Noted.
So Thanik will say he, after a good brisk walk up there with Gleam Silver, you make it up there. And you do
just on the way, I'm
paces.
just talking to Gleam Silver like every time I'm in a goddamned caravan, somebody slows up half the fucking train. I don't understand how hard it is to keep things on wheels moving.
As you guys get up there, she looks over. She's like, "Looks like it was your friend."
Do I see him?
Gemma noticed him, so you might notice him now after this.
Yeah. Is she pointing him out to me? Do I see a little Mal running around anywhere?
Yeah. He's kind of, because I'm assuming, Mal, you came out of the wagon. You're just kind of like huddling by the wagon still, right? You didn't go towards the.
No, I think he said he was trying to like loop around and head out with his stealth.
Gotcha. Yeah, you guys. Oh yeah, you guys did see him only because you guys recognize him. You know who he is, so that's why you guys saw him. So you kind of saw him walking by, kind of like sneaking around the wagon. So you do notice that, and she noticed it as well. She's like, "Is this something you guys do often?"
Well, I'm getting used to the tactics of some of the group that I'm traveling with. This isn't necessarily my style, but typically it proves quite useful.
You do notice that a couple paces behind you guys walking up was that other large human that was in the wagon in front of you. He's apparently come over to take a look at what's going on too, but he doesn't stand by you guys. He's still a good 10 feet back, kind of just looking at what happened.
Yeah. As I get closer to the wagon, I'll just sort of holler out, "What by the gods is going on here? We've got a long journey ahead of us, and this is a terrible way to start."
They all kind of like block the crate so you can't see what's spilled. They're all standing in front of it, kind of like to not make it noticeable. They're like, "Oh, we just had a little mishap here. We're gonna get this wagon loaded quite shortly, and we'll get moving." He kind of looks ahead. The caravan now is about a good quarter mile ahead of everyone else that didn't even bother stopping because it didn't notice what happened. At this point, I would say, Stevie, if you want to do a perception check to notice if you look behind you, that anything's happened.
She's definitely keeping an eye on things. 16.
Yeah. So you do notice, you give a look back and you realize that only half the caravan is with you guys, and you kind of lean over and you see the other half, still a little bit back from the rest.
So I would kind of gesture to Silva, like, "Do you mind if I go see what's happening back there? It looks like part of the caravan is held up for some reason."
What? She's sitting in the wagon like this with her cloak up her hood. She like throws it back. She's like, "You've got to be!" And she looks back. "Are you kidding me? I do not have the time for this. Yes, please go find out what's going on." And tell the rest of the caravan. So, she motions for her wagon to stop, and everything else comes to a dead stop. She's like, "Let them know what else everyone behind us. They haven't noticed what's going on."
I know some people are so incompetent, and I'll kind of like go back, meander back, and kind of like motion for everybody else to kind of stop, because then like point out the wagon that has overturned, and make my way back there.
Okay. All right. So you start making your way back. Mal, was there anything you were going to be doing? Thanik and Gleam Silver, you guys didn't interact, but they kind of saw you walking around, trying to get away from the situation.
Yeah, so once Mal broke eye contact with the cult, he would drop his disguise self. So he's just in his regular disguise, so they don't recognize him right away. His cloak and all that stuff. And then he's going to just kind of walk back by, figure out if he can figure out where Thanik is, or just head back to the carriage.
Yeah. Coming around the way, like I said, Thanik and Gleam Silver did arrive. So you would, going on your way back, you would definitely notice, especially the big Goliath standing there looking at what's happening. They're probably about 15, 20 feet away from the wagon itself, just trying to see what's happening.
Hey guys, what'd I miss?
What'd you miss or what did you cause? One moment. I've got 30 to 40 days of travel ahead of me back towards the goal. And we've not even been able to make it to lunch. You've got 10 minutes to get this going, or I'm going to pick up that cart and get it set right myself.
Has Stevie come up on them by
Stevie,
this point?
I was going to answer with the NPC, but I'll let Stevie show up first. So Stevie walks up, right as Stanix.
What in tarnation is happening over here? The cart is overturned.
This happens every time I get into a caravan, Stevie.
You know what? Let's just get this cart uprighted. I think we can do it to get if we lift on 3, we can get this upright and back so that they can get whatever shenanigans they got going loaded, and then we can get back on our way. So
the cult member kind of looks
up?
at y'all. He's like, I suppose he looks at his other people to keep there's about a good 8 of them still blocking the rest that crate, so you guys can't see it. Mel knows was there, but Thanik and Stevie can't see it because they're blocking it.
Right.
And the one lead guy that was talking to Mel kind of looks at you. He's like, "Yeah, I suppose if you just help us get this real quick up here, and then be on your way."
Yeah, I don't care what you got. We all got secrets. I don't care. Let's get this uprighted. And
Thanik, can you give me a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
Perception.
Ooh, that rolled shitty right at the very end. That's an 8.
Okay. All right. So, you guys start to help lift the wagon up. You do notice that that tall man that you saw before. This wasn't part of the perception check. This is all natural. While you guys are helping him, you see him kind of walking around the side, and he's like going where all those guards are. And you notice a slight kind of kerfuffle. They kind of like yell at him. He kind of like leans over, looks, and they kind of yell at him. And he's like, and they back him away from where they're all standing.
You mean like where they congregated?
Yeah, where they're blocking that
What
crate that
fell. Those guards. Okay. Can I do my own perception check on him? It like or maybe an insight of like what's his deal? Like why is he trying to get closer?
Why he's trying to get what?
Why he's trying to get closer to like where the
that guy?
The crate is? Yeah.
I mean you're a good distance away, so you wouldn't really get anything just from visually looking at what he's doing, other than he's curious of what's going on over there.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, you do notice that he obviously looks curious at what's going on over there, and he was going to look, and he got surreptitiously shooed away quite rudely and threateningly from the other cultists.
Can I tell anything from his body language, like if it's pure curiosity or like?
Yeah, you can give me an insight check for that.
That's what Stevie is good at. Nat fucking 20. 24. She's good at well, not good at people. She's good at animals and translates it to people.
All right.
That's that's literally my entire character design for her.
So I mean, you look at him he's like 7.5 feet tall, so he's most likely the tallest human that you have ever seen. Most likely everyone else
he
seen.
looks human.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see that he was doing mostly in gestures, so he wasn't really talking much. You didn't see his mouth opening. He wasn't really talking, and he did seem just genuinely curious as to what they were trying to hide over there.
Okay.
So do we get the cart righted?
Yes. Actually, give me. Nah, we'll say it's fine. You guys get the cart righted because you had some other cultists helping you as well. I was gonna do a strength check, but it's like there's. Mal, were you helping him?
Yeah, Mal would be helping.
Okay. So 3 of you were doing that, and there was like a cultist.
Don't hurt yourself, sweetie.
you guys get it righted. And the lead cultist is like, all right, thank you very much, I appreciate it. You all can go now. Okay, we got our own.
Get this loaded up and get us back on the road.
Oh, we're getting there. He's looking at his other guys. He's like, clean that mess up over there and get it loaded. He kind of looks at that big guy who's walking away too, and then looks back to you guys. He's like, we got it. Thank you.
Stevie, like,
looking at you.
As soon as the wagon was righted, Stevie would be like, all right, see ya. And like, just basically pretending to not be interested in whatever the hell they got going on here.
Thanek didn't see anything. So, Thanek, you're getting everything together. I'm just going to make my way back to the cart. Back to Tommen.
Were Stevie and you guys going to discuss anything before you guys? Because you guys are going to be going opposite directions.
I don't think so. We know we're meeting up at nightfall, so I'd have left it.
Okay. All right, so you guys go your separate ways. You get back to your wagon. You notice Thanek, that tall man. He's walking 20 feet ahead of you, going back to his wagon. He stops off at his wagon. You guys pass him up and go to yours. Stevie, you make it back up to Silva, and the caravan. By the time you guys get back there, the caravan starts to move once again.
All right. Well, looks like we're good there. They had a minor mishap with a wagon falling over. I was able to get it back on its tracks.
All right, good. Finally, let's get this moving. I got business to take care of. We gotta get the Daggerford. I don't have time to wait anymore. Let's go. Let's do it. You see, Fleur's just walking along there, not looking very happy to be doing all this stuff, and she's yawning a lot still because she hasn't stopped to sleep since she had to get up at 5 a.m.
Yep.
And she's not very happy. Tiny, are you staying inside the pocket still? Are you coming out? You doing anything?
Tiny is just peeking out, trying to stay hidden as much as possible because she still sees her cage, and she's not very sure about what's going on. So she's keeping her distance and hiding because she doesn't want to end up back in the cage.
All right. So you guys go through. The day passes. Huh?
Real quick, do the cultists still have the cage?
I never said they didn't. I said when you guys were leaving, the cage was there. They were trying to figure out what's going on with it. So I kind of left that open.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
I was
just curious.
Tiny has added that as part of her story right now, I'll say the cage is still there, empty.
Yep. I wasn't certain.
It's an enchanted item, so it's probably worth some value.
Might as well.
It's gonna drop.
Yeah.
So, so that's going as well. So I'll say the day passes, and you guys travel a little bit, and the sun starts to go down. And you do notice that the wagons they don't encircle into one large circle, but you notice that they make up a bunch of different circles in a circle, kind of deal. So like they make their own little camps. With horses that might know each other, but they're all kind of in a circle or semicircle thing like that, just off of the road to protect themselves. Their backs are to and there's no mountains where you're at right now, so it's kind of wide open plain still. So yeah, they're kind of halfway circled like that. The sun goes down, you see campfires start to spark up, and people start making late supper before they plan to turn in for the night.
Just because my thing did not save it. It was called the Mirrors of Horror, was it?
Mirror of the Dead Men.
Mirror of the Dead Men. Yeah, my thing didn't save it there. Yep. Yeah, once we all kind of
out. Mirror of Dead Men. No the.
It's more dramatic this way now.
Yeah.
Mirror of Dead Men. Got it. Cool. Thank you. As soon as we kind of settled down for the night, Anik, great news. I got information.
What did you learn before you overturned that card?
I had nothing to do with that overturn.
Insight check. I don't know why I rolled my real dice.
Just add your modifier to it and tell us what it was.
Cool. It's an 18.
I got a natural 1. So, wait. You didn't...
They are
Carts do fall off the road all of the time.
Yeah, I think it hit a rock. I was talking to one of the cultists, and they told me Rezmir was going to the Mirror of Dead Men.
The Mirror of Dead Men.
I've heard of it a
Mirror.
little bit in my travels. Mirror of Dead Men.
M-E-R-E, mirror.
Mirror. It's the Mirror of Dead Men.
I am obviously going to roll my own history check.
Yeah, it's somewhere up over yonder.
While you're talking,
Fuck you,
Silver
D&D
does
Beyond.
walk
That's cocked. Eat a dick.
behind you,
Right.
and she's like, "What's this about the mirror, dead men?"
Who said this?
Gleam Silver did?
Gleam Silver. Yeah. She sits down in the campfire to make her own food. Yeah, she comes in right when you guys are are talking. Thought you were alone, but you weren't.
It seems that one of the one of the leaders peeled off to go to some Mirror of Dead Men. I've been many a places, but
Leaders
I've
of
never-
what?
This fucking cult we're following.
Cult. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh no! No!
Dramatic time for that to happen. All right. Well, while we're waiting for Thanik to reestablish, she's saying this to both of you guys as you heard Thanik talking about the cult openly in front of Gleam Silver, and she asks, "Well, what are you talking about?"
You know a cult. They're a group of people who travel together. They all worship some really bad shit. You know what a cult is, right? Insight checking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you trying to
16
deceive?
plus 2, 18.
If you want me to roll a new deception for this, I don't know what you.
Are you
if you want me
trying
to keep.
to deceive though?
I mean, I'm trying to word track here. I'm
He
like,
is
you know
lying.
what a cult is. Okay, I'll roll
Attempting
just
to
said-
at least.
Thanik just called him a cult, which is not a normal word you say just for people traveling together. So it'd be a common thing for when he comes up with, "Oh, it's just people traveling together." For like, hold on a minute.
Oh, I see. I got an 18 on my deception.
All right, so that's a tie. So it's a push. You get it. So she looks at you kind of wearily. Don't believe it, but I'll accept it for now. That's all I'm gonna say. But how does
I've
this
not
tie
been
into this
called
Mirror of Dead Men?
Mirror of Dead Men? I was just curious. I was up scouting ahead. I asked them why there was a bunch of people running off. They said they're going to some place over there.
Interesting. She just leans back, puts her foot up on a rock, and she starts eating her soup.
I don't think you can ask that sort of question and sit back the way that you are without sharing what you know. You recognize it
What do
by
I know?
name. What is this place?
I'm well traveled. I'm assuming just as much as this guy is.
Sure. Now now you have my interest. What is this place?
It's a swamp.
She is right. It is a swamp.
So if we're settling down for the night, Stevie's gonna tell Silva. I keep forgetting her name. Tell Silva, I'm gonna go make a run of the perimeter. Just make sure we're all set up like safely. I'm gonna take Fleur with me if that's okay.
Oh, I'm about to turn in anyway. I have a few of the guards here. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure everyone's secure, and go try and find Mal and Thanik.
Okay, so you and Fleur and Tiny, because she's in the pocket.
Yep.
Go. And I'll say you started to search before they were talking. But you get there kind of right as Thanik's asking Gleam Silver what does she know. She says it's a swamp. That's when you guys will walk up.
Oh, what's this about a swamp? We going to a swamp now?
There's some swamp apparently that some of the looking over at Mouse, some of the folks traveling in front of us ran off to, called the Mirror of the Dead Men. In all my travels, I've never heard of such a place, so I was simply asking the small one questions, and they don't seem too particularly interested in answering.
I answered. It's a swamp.
You don't call a swamp the
You
mirror of
see,
the dead
in
man
the
if it's not an
common
interesting
language,
swamp.
a mirror is another word for a swamp.
So why are there dead men?
Oh,
Why
okay,
the city
I'm
we just come
stupid.
from called Baldur's Gate? That sounds like some place right out of the hells. We.
All right.
I mean,
No use.
Baldur's Gate was pretty hellish. I don't know if you were there for long, but I didn't
Second
enjoy
that.
it.
It's a swamp. People died. Dead men.
Yeah, it's not terribly remarkable.
Can I
But-
can I perception her? Like if she's like
Insight.
Perception. What?
insight,
yeah,
insight.
I mean,
Sorry, insight.
Yeah.
Like is she holding back stuff? Is she lying?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Not great. 13.
Yeah. With 13. Yeah. No. You don't notice anything. I will say this. You don't notice if she's holding it back anything, but you don't necessarily trust her.
Fair enough.
Mal's gonna sit down.
And by trust,
lean in
I'm
real
talking about
close.
in a very general sense, not like she's going to stab you in the back in the middle of the night. Or
Right,
anything.
right. I don't trust that
Yeah.
she's being completely upfront.
Right.
Mal is going to just sit down, lean in real close to Gleam Silver, and be like, you know what? I feel like we all need to start being a little bit more honest with each other. And you know what? I'll share something with you if you share something with me. It'd be a fun game.
You seem like a smart guy.
Not at all.
You did say, well, it is a swamp. Did I lie?
Oh, you didn't lie. You also didn't give all the...
Did I
Yeah, all
give the
the-
answer? He says, what is this mirror of the dead men? And I said, it's a swamp. He said, why is there dead men? I explained. Maybe people died there. I don't know what more you want from me.
Probably tell us about yourself a little bit. We're going to be on the road for 30 days or so with each other. My name's Mel.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, Gemma.
Gemma?
I mean, I think
Gemma,
you
what
were
are
all
you doing
there when
later tonight?
Tommen introduced me, you know. I mean, we were, you know, kind of.
Gemma, what are you doing later tonight?
I'm sleeping.
No, you're not.
She pulls out her dagger. She's like, don't you any ideas? I've been around. I'm very picky
No.
with who I spend
aren't
my
we-
nights.
Aren't we taking watches, standing guard?
Oh, that.
Get your mind out of the gutter, miss. You're not my type.
Dagger.
You're too small.
Sweetie, I'm everyone's type.
I'm just imagining Floor nodding emphatically next to Stevie. That seems in character.
She's like, I'll take first watch.
Take first watch?
Yeah.
You know, there should really be two to watch. I'll take it with you.
I got my peeps.
What are their names? They haven't been introduced yet.
Frickin' Frack. Say hello, Frick. You too, Frack. They're kind of eating your soup too, and they just go.
You like to hide things. I like this.
Stevie,
Alright.
Stevie,
What the
how's
hell am
the?
I hiding? You asked me their names. I told you their names. You said, what do you want to take watch? I said, I'll take watch first. I thought you wanted to get into my pants, and I told you, fuck no. So what the hell am I hiding?
Oh no, some people tend to hide behind their emotions by getting exorbitant like this. I've stayed mellow the whole entire time.
See, I was going to say daddy issues.
You see her take her canteen, she rinses out her bowl, puts it back in her pack, checks her dagger. She's like, I'm gonna take watch. You guys can do whatever the hell you want.
Stevie will call.
One Frick
will
goes
call
with her, Frack stays behind.
Stevie will call after her. He don't mean nothing by it. He's just a little adolescent, and you know what comes with that, right?
As she's walking away, she's just like,
Nice to meet you.
And then can I check out Frick or Freck, whoever's left over, and see if he's paying attention to this conversation?
I would say just switch your passive. I mean, he works for her, so he's obviously listening to what she's saying. But that's
So
all,
is he
that's all
listening to
knows.
like our conversation? Is he paying attention to us anymore?
Oh. So before you continue with your conversation, you want to know if he's looking. Yeah, I was say passively, he's just kind of looking down in his bowl. You see him kind of look up every now and then. And he's probably about a good 10 feet back because he's sitting on a couple stumps a little bit further back. He's about 10 feet away from you guys.
Okay. I would like to try and motion the group to move a little bit farther away. Not too far, that's obvious, but like maybe 2 feet or something, just so we got a nice little 12-feet gap. Okay, now that I got rid of her.
Stevie is gonna say to Bannock in giant, so I don't think anybody else. Exactly. She's gonna say, "Oh, I think our little boy has a crush."
Perhaps. He seems to have a crush on everyone, but
You're
That's
not
neither
wrong,
here nor
but
there.
it's still cute.
and then back in common. How was the view from the front? I'm certain you saw Resmir gallivanting past with a guard.
Yeah, I saw them going past. I didn't think it was smart to follow them without the whole group present.
That was a good decision. We were inquiring about this swamp of dead people because that's apparently where they're heading.
Swamp of dead people?
Yeah, the mirror of the dead men that we were asking Gleamsilver about. That's apparently where Resmir is heading, and we don't know why, and we don't really know much about this place.
Yeah, I'm not certain I do. I mainly stayed in my own mountain forest area down south. I don't. Can I do my own history check? It's not going to go well, but like she doesn't travel much. But
Again,
she
remember,
heard of it.
most of the major areas, because it is halfway between Neverwinter and Waterdeep. So, if you've traveled that road, you're probably familiar with the swamp. Maybe not necessarily the history or anything like that, but you know the topography, I guess I would say.
Right. But it's more about like, do I know why it's called the Mare of Dead Men?
Yeah, that would be a history check.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, that would
what
be
I
the
wanted.
history check for that. Yeah.
19
There you go.
with a plus. I have a +0 to that.
Nice.
I mean,
All right. So we're talking about we're not talking about topography. We're talking about like just the history of the name.
right? Like, why is it called Mare of Dead Men? Like what kind of terrain can we expect? I mean, other than swamp, like, are there any like ROUSs like famous for that area?
Yeah, well, you do know that hundreds and hundreds of years ago when it was created, and the armies of Falam were overrun by the hordes of the Wastes about 1400, no, so 800 years ago.
Okay.
And the few that had rallied made their stands at a tower called Inarv's Tower, and the tower once belonged to Inarv, the former mage. Unbeknownst to everyone, he had retreated into the tower's lowest crypt and became a lich, and was awakened by orcs and enraged by the commotion. The king begged him for help, calling upon Inarv's ancient alliance with the tower, and he called on the ocean to flood the entire area, killing all the goblinoids and humans alike. When the waters receded, all that was left was a saltwater swamp. The land was never permanently resettled. There were a few attempts that were thwarted by the wetlands, strange monsters released by Inarv.
So I'm gonna say this was a bedtime story of sorts that Stevie was told in her youth.
Yeah, I mean, it is a history thing, but
Right,
seeing it's
so-
800 years ago, I would say that some people
It's
believe it as
something-
fact, some people believe it as legend.
Right. So and it's something the elders of my clan would probably have talked about, given that some of the oldest of them were possibly alive at that time. So I would relay that to the group as like, well, I mean, I remember hearing this story in my childhood about this swamp where this army made a last stand, made some sort of a deal with the Lich King, or Lich something. I'm not certain on all the details. Not everybody believes that it really happened. But that's all I'm remembering about this swamp of dead people.
Well, all I know about it, Rezmir went ahead, and according to the cult, it sounds like that's their next stop. They're heading towards that way.
Well, if there was some sort of powerful mage that turned into a lich, would it be possible that there was artifacts in magic left behind, or maybe even the lich himself? That could be worrying.
We all know
It's-
liches are fake. It's a bedtime story.
I would start to put maybe a little more stock into those bedtime stories. But as far as a place of importance, it's clearly important to Rezmir for some reason, but I can't fathom why, and it wouldn't be a good idea for us to break off and chase after. I mean, everybody's seen, I think, or at least heard at this stage, that it was Rezmir, actual Rezmir, and 8 guards. That's not anything that I think we're capable of handling at the moment.
Can I get a group perception check, please?
We're all gonna die.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
7.
It's an open plains. There's no rocks falling.
It's a 15.
I got a 3.
You just hear some rustling in the brush, not too far off from you. You look around, you don't see anything, but you do hear some rustling. You're not sure what it could be. It could have been a squirrel, an animal, anything.
Tiny got a 13. What did Flora get?
Floor. Oh yeah, I guess I could roll hers too. Because at this point, with the group, I don't think it's really going to make a difference. But let's take a look.
Yeah,
So-
my passive is 15 though.
She got a 24. But still, yeah. Even with that, all you guys notice is the rustling.
How far away is the brush?
It's about 20 feet away.
I'm gonna take one of my, for whatever reason, 10 torches and fucking whip it in the bush.
Okay. Strength check to see if you can get it to the 20 feet in the bushes. Shouldn't be a problem for that.
Yeah, my shit's lagging. 1 second. Strength check. Uh, 21.
Yeah, it makes it into the bushes. You hear a crackle, you see someone come up, and you see a small fire start, but nothing else.
Oh no, not a lit, just like the wood of the torch.
Just a torch. Okay, so the torch lands in the brush.
Mhm.
You hear it go, and that's it.
Medic, what are you throwing over there for?
Thought I heard something. Anyway, Stevie, Fleur, how's the small one?
She's getting a little more comfortable with us. I've been trying to tell her a little bit about how we've been interfering a bit with the people that captured her's plans.
Dobby walks up to Fleur and pulls the pocket open and goes, "They want to know how you're doing!"
Is he speaking?
Draconic.
Okay. Smiles up at him and tries to get him. She points to the mouse and pets the mouse and raises her hands up and, "You come join me?"
I will when we go sleep. Come on, say hi. They're nice people.
But they're gonna try to catch me again.
No, not friends. Look, they saved Dobby.
Cage.
Dobby was
Cage.
Dobby.
I
They don't have
see
cage.
Cage.
Cage is
Oh,
is
sweet.
way up.
Sweetie, we will not let them put you back in a cage.
Kill someone putting you in cage.
She
Danica are
flies
both
up
just sitting here
and
like, what?
Everybody starts talking fucking gibberish, and we're just like,
All
God
you hear is
damn it, not again.
she flies up and sits on Dobby's shoulder, but stays in her tiny form.
He says that in common. I mean, he's probably
Oh.
saying
See, I see you're getting a little adventurous. It's good to have you
Still-
out here. I don't know exactly what you're
still
scared
in
of, but it's far
Draconic.
away.
She changes to Infernal now, and she's saying how she's just very scared of the cage, and she doesn't want to get put back in there. It was horrible, and she's sad. She doesn't want to be sad anymore.
Stevie will druid craft a small flower, probably a lily of the valley bloom of some sort, to give to Tiny. She's in her small form, so like that's an appropriately small flower to give to Tiny.
You speak Infernal?
No,
That's what she said in
She does.
Infernal.
no, but it's a reward
yes,
for coming out of the pocket.
Oh, gotcha. So after you give that to her, I'll be like, she just said she hates flowers in common.
Tiny jumps on the flower and starts playing with it, and she's just like kicking it and playing with the petals and burrowing inside of it. And she comes out and she goes, "Woo!"
Now, why
I
don't
lied.
I believe you?
Because I lie a lot. No, she was saying how she hates that cage over there.
Yeah, I know. And we're gonna do all we can to not let her get back in the cage, right?
Dobby, kill anyone put her cage. Dobby, no, let it happen. Holding his staff up in the air.
Whoa, simmer down there, young one. Don't worry. If she wants to stay with us, then we can keep her out of a cage. It's not even a very big cage at that. So worst case scenario, I'll break it.
He summons his sword whip and he's just holding it.
Stevie translates what Fennec said into Draconic. You see that big guy over there? He says that if anyone else tries to put you in that cage, he's gonna break it.
Can you break
Big
it?
guy strong.
Can we break it? Please, can we break it? Let's go break it.
Stevie,
Can we go break it, please? Please, can we go break it?
What,
She's
does
like
she-
going
does
back
she-
through Draconic and
You want her-
Infernal,
you
saying
want-
it over and over. Please,
What
come on,
does she?
please.
Does she mean now?
Can we go break it, please? Please, can we break it?
Yeah,
I'm sitting up. I'm sitting up above everybody. Just if I straighten my back and I perk myself up, can I see it?
I mean, I said depending on a distance. Well, you guys are all kind of in a semicircle now, so yeah, I'll say across the camp. You see where the dragon cult is, and at end of their wagons, you do see the cage hovering there.
Is it fairly? Does it look like it's fairly close to people? And how close is it to me?
Well, I'll say that you guys created this semicircle kind of in the order that you guys were traveling. So you're at the one point of the semicircle, and it's in the middle here. So you're looking at it like from here across the camp
Mm-hmm.
that way.
But
Now
it's like
she's gonna go-
smack dab in the middle. It's in the middle of everything.
In the middle of the semicircle, and they're pretty spread out. So I would say like from end to end of the semicircle is probably about a good 600 feet across, and then it does a semicircle between those 2 points like that.
Tiny's gonna jump
So
on
it's
your
about
shoulder
300 feet. It's about 300 feet to the middle where you're
and like start hugging your neck.
Mine?
Yes, because she thinks that you're her new. You're gonna go break her.
What? Hold on. Do you?
This is
See?
literally like a human hugging a redwood tree at this point because she's a
Do you see? Do you see it? It's all the people. Can't go break it now.
She gives you a sad, pouty face.
Well, Fennec, do you want me to go try and get it? Me and Dobby.
Do you think you
Great
can
team
take
up.
a 6-foot cubed cage, which is taller than you are, all the way over here stealthily so that I can step on it?
I can certainly try.
Well, if he can get it far enough away, I can carry it the rest of the way.
I mean, I think other opportunities will present themselves. If we go trying to steal some sort of weird magical cage that Fleur had to hang underneath because it floats by itself.
Dobby,
all
while
the
you
way
guys are
over
talking,
here.
since you mentioned destroying this thing, wild shapes. And of all the things he decides to turn into a crocodile. And he starts crawling across the camp.
Now,
Okay, am I close enough that I can grab his fucking tail?
Give me a dexterity check.
Oh, that's gonna go swimmingly. Yeah, that's an 8.
Stevie,
Yeah, he got a 20. So he wiggles away.
Stevie grabs a hold of
Blade
Mal.
arm is hard to move in. Don't make fun of me.
Stevie grabs a hold of Mal and like brings him along. Okay, we're gonna do this now, I guess.
Well, I was hoping he'd cast a spell to make me more quiet, but I guess this is what we're doing.
I'm
Tommy ran off.
currently standing
Mike-
myself up. Just
Crocodiles don't walk
if
very
somebody
fast.
somebody constantly has an idea that requires me to go in there.
Hold on, guys. Before we do this, I want to cast a suggestion on Dobby.
Okay.
So he needs to make a save. What is it? It's a wisdom save. But
Against
before I
the druid,
cast
you're gonna do a wisdom
suggestion,
save?
hold on. Before I cast that,
Hey, his wisdom stats don't get better when he becomes a druid.
they do. He gets proficiency.
Yeah, and wisdom is like your main stat.
Exactly. Dobby, there'll be a time for that later, and I'm going to use one of my bardic inspiration to cut down on his save, too.
All right. Well, he rolled low, but with his +5, he has a 17.
Okay, so let me roll a d6, and this is going to be subtracted from it. And we have to get a lower than a 14. So 4.
Drops it down to
13.
13.
Oh, my save
Just
is
made
14,
it.
so he's...
Nice.
So for the next 24 hours, Dobby, I suggest you sit and stay.
Dobby, sit! And the crocodile just stops right in the middle of the camp.
And I'll maintain concentration on that until he turns back into Dobby.
And by the way, it's not like I will say, since it's kind of a prairie, the grass is kind of like, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall. So he's kind of like really green. You really can't see him inside the grass.
Stevie picks him up and slings him over her shoulder.
Wow, this is a sight. So there's a centaur carrying a crocodile.
Yep.
And also, just for clarity, which shoulder? These or those?
Shoulders.
Human shoulders.
Anyway, you guys have fun with this, and then Mal's going to walk away and go piss on that bush that we heard noises from.
Okay.
As he's heading over there, I'm just I had no idea. I'm assuming that Tiny doesn't understand.
I will say
but
it
but
is
I'll
getting
say.
later. You are noticing, some of the fires going out around the camp. People are starting to turn in as you guys are making your way across.
While I'm peeing on the bush, do I notice anything?
A bush.
Okay, I pee on the torch specifically.
The
I
torch
pee
that
on
was not
the-
lit. That's just laying there.
Yeah, I pee
Okay.
on that specifically in case Stanek goes for it.
He's got to mark everything. This guy.
Why is this wet? It's not even morning
Tiny is
dew
still
time
on
yet.
your shoulder, hugging your neck.
Maybe soon, small one. Maybe soon.
Stevie will translate that.
If Dobby does yell out, "Look, Tiny, we're about being carried on shoulders."
I think he's
Wait a minute, he
crocodile,
can't.
though.
He's a crocodile, so he's.
It's just-
No one understands what the fuck he says. He doesn't think about it.
Yeah, and I think at that it's time to turn in and start moving this journey along here.
I also vote for pee break because I have to pee.
Oh yeah,
Oh
people
yeah,
time
it
for
is
sure.
pee break time. Well, weren't you guys? You said turn it. Would you guys make? I thought you guys were going to fight to break this cage, though. Isn't that what you guys were walking across to do, or
No.
you just grabbed him and brought him back?
Right.
Yeah, we brought him back so that there
Gotcha.
wasn't a big fucking commotion.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, pee break time. Let's go ahead and do that, and we will be right back. And we're back. So you guys took Dobby, and you guys went back. So you're not going to try to break this cage. No, Tiny, they're not breaking the cage. They went back.
After
Going
Mal
back
took a
to
piss,
your
he's going to bed.
Still have ways.
All right, so y'all go to bed.
Well, yeah, Stevie would coax Tiny onto her hand and like back into Floor's pocket, and go back to our camp.
Tiny decides she doesn't want to be in the pocket anymore. Tiny is going on your shoulder now.
Who's your?
Well, hi.
Are you sleeping on
Yeah,
her shoulder?
Stevie's shoulder.
Yeah, how
Tiny
does...
Tiny
by the
is
way,
sitting on-
does Stevie sleep like a horse where she folds the legs up and her body is still upward, or does she lay on her side?
I think she somewhat kind of goes on her side, like not fully, like she props up the human half a little bit.
So
Just always look like you're slumped in a
kind of
fucking
like a
office chair.
twist at
No,
the
so-
waist or neck of the horse part, and
Yeah. So
upper half.
like horse part is on side,
Yeah.
and like kind of props up the human.
and the
side
human
a
part's
little
kind of reclined on something.
bit. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or at least that's
It
what
also
I've
starts
been
making me think of
imagining.
skeletal structure, because where it meets the horse's neck part is your hips, and that's the part
Yeah.
that always. I need to see an X-ray of a centaur. It's got to be so fucked up.
Right.
And it's probably a thing of nightmares. I gotta be honest with you.
Centaur hips are basically the shoulders of the horse.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense in my brain. How that would work. Like
You realize
the
how
spine
long
would be
that spine is? It's like.
fucking long.
All right,
It
so
is
you guys
a
wake
thing
up the
of
next
nightmares, I
morning.
looked it up.
Send it. Send it.
Order of awakening. Thanik, I mean, you always said you wake up quite early, so am I assuming you're the first one up?
I would guess so, yeah.
Is it pre sunrise?
Yeah, I mean, depending on what time we went to sleep, it sounds like we all tuckered in at a reasonable hour, so yeah, it should
Yeah.
be shortly before sunrise.
Yeah.
And
So sunrise is like around 6 a.m. So if you wake up at like 5:30, 5:45, it's just when the sun's starting to peak up a little
That
bit.
sounds about right.
Okay.
Stevie
Right.
would probably wake up at sunrise, because like out in the wilds, you want to wake up at sunrise. So she can do it. She doesn't like it, but she can.
You will definitely have to wake Fleur up, because I'm pretty sure Fleur is not waking up until someone makes her get
Yep.
Same
Oh,
with Mal.
100%.
Mal's not getting up unless he's forced to.
There you go. So that's them too.
Tiny is just sleeping on Stevie's shoulder still.
Oh, and I'm assuming you guys went back to your respective wagons, right? Thanik
Yes.
and Mal went back
Mhm.
to Tommen, and Stevie, Fleur, and Tiny went back too. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with Thanik. You wake up, you get up, and kind of stretch. Getting some coffee or anything like that. Making some coffee, getting a little fire going for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So in the glow of the morning, give yourself give me a perception check, please.
Sure. Been rolling like shit on these all night, so here's to another one. Oh, not bad. That's a 22.
Okay. The wagon that was in front of you guys is not that far off, and it's right by a brush. And you look over there and you see something sticking out from the brush, just on the ground.
How far away?
About 40 feet.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Thanik sleeps in his armor.
You could take the time to put it on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? No, I would say, especially if like just woke up, kind of put myself together. Armor comes off in the evening, so I'll armorless run over and not run over, but just sort of saunter over and see what it is that's sticking out of the bush. It's early morning, no one's moving around.
So as you get over there, the rest of his wagon is still kind of sleeping. No one's waking up yet. It's still quite early. You walk over to the bush and you see a very long leg sticking out from under the bush.
So yeah, immediately gonna go and have like a good solid look, see what it is that's going on.
So you move the stuff apart and you see it is that very tall human that was in the cart in front of you, the one you saw looking at the cult, what they were trying to hide. And he's laying there in the bush, and he does not look so good.
Still breathing?
No.
Can I make a medicine check to see if he's got a pulse?
Yeah.
This will go poorly.
I mean, it's not that hard to figure out someone's dead. I don't have a huge DC for this.
It's 2.
It's actually not too bad. Still a 15.
All right. So you bend down. You put your fingers at his neck, and there's no pulse. He looks very pale, and you kind of see like blue veinish lines all up in his face and on his skin and his mouth. His eyes are open and his mouth is agape, and there's looks like there's a little like dried vomit on the side of his mouth.
Any like lacerations or anything along those lines, or just like wholly put together? Just looks like something got like it looks like a blue sick, which we all know what that is.
Yeah. There's no, you don't see any kind of damage to him like swords or clubs or daggers or anything like that. He doesn't look like he was. There's no blood.
Either magic or poison.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will run over to the. I'll walk over to the cart. Since there's not much to do with this. Yeah. No, I'm not a looter. I'll walk over to the cart and see if I can't figure out who the somebody that is from his cart, and just try and wake them up and notify them.
Yeah. So you knock on a cart and an old man kind of sticks his head out. He's like, What's going on? What's going on?
Hi, you don't know me. I'm from the cart behind you.
Tommen's cart? Tommen's always in the
Yes.
you're a big
I just
guy.
thought it might
You
be
must
good
his
to
bodyguard.
Yes, that's usually the role that I receive. Anyway,
Want some coffee?
You know what?
Make
I'm
some
actually
coffee.
all
Come
I'm,
in the
I'm
wagon.
all okay. There's something more important that you should know, and that's
Then
that,
coffee?
Yeah. It looks like your bodyguard, who's similarly sized to me, has not made it through the night.
Sulisteg?
And I'll just sort of like gesture over towards the bush, and I've checked out the body.
Hold on.
He
goes back in his cart and you see him come out. He's got a cane. He saunters on down. And he's making his way over to the bush with you. He's moving like really slow, by the way, as he's walking with his
DMX
cane.
all over again.
Over there. Oh, much slower in DMX. He's moving over there real slowly, real rickety. He's like, my eyes ain't so good. Can you point it out to me? What you talking about? What's going on?
Yeah, I'll sort of take the lead and head over to his body.
Ah! Sulisteg! Oh my god! Oh my god! My poor Shari's bodyguard. What happened to him? What?
I don't know. I woke up this morning and noticed a leg sticking out of the brush, and came over to
my
investigate,
Lord.
and this is what I found.
He's so big. How could he have? You know his name means tall as a lodgepole, right?
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, he didn't really talk much either. When he does, though, people listen. And he mentioned he saw some stuff over the cart up ahead right last night. That made me listen.
Did he say what it is that he noticed?
All he said was shiny.
Well, there's nothing more that was spoken that would be helpful to know. That I apologize for your loss. I do have to get back to my cart. I can do my best from Tommen's position to keep an eye and make sure that, despite the fact that I'm not guarding you per se, I can do my best to see that you come to no harm.
Can you go? It's like the second or third cart from the front. There's a man over there named Steven. He is like the head of security of safety. They need to know that someone one day in is already killed.
Allow me to go put my armor on, and I'll make the journey for you.
He calls some of his other guys over, and they start to try to pick up this gigantic man to bury him and give him some kind of peace.
And I'll head back to my encampment, and not necessarily quietly or anything along those lines, but I'll go ahead and poke my armor on so I can head up front and look for Steven.
Okay.
And once I'm done,
Anyone else
that's where I'll go.
before we do that?
I'm gonna assume since he's putting the armor on, he does it right by Mal, and it just wakes me up at this point. Pathetic. Stop doing it so early.
Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention, Stevie already said it was probably magical poison, but with your medicine check, you did realize it was poison.
Oh, okay, cool. Mal, there's already business to take care of. You can stay here and sleep in, or you can come with me, whichever you'd prefer.
I'll hang out here with Tommen.
Do your best to watch him. Something's already happening in this caravan.
What's happened?
You remember the big guy in front of us? Well, I say big guy. He wasn't that big, but the larger fellow.
Yeah.
He was poisoned sometime in the night.
Oh.
Yes, I don't know what exactly's happened here, but
I think the they who shall not be named said something about killing people who see the things they don't want them to see.
you heard that
Yeah, yesterday.
when you were in the crowd.
Yeah.
That would have been excellent information to have yesterday.
I love how everything Val hears is on a need-to-know basis. You don't need to know until something happens.
I'm sorry, I didn't feel like it was necessarily important. No one saw anything, I assumed.
It was not necessarily important that the lives of everyone here are at stake simply by asking questions. You have an interesting... You're a very paradoxical person, you know that.
Are you alive still?
I am, but I didn't ask any questions yesterday, thank goodness. Well, thank goodness for them. They wouldn't have lasted very long. Anyway, there's some security person that's part of this caravan that I need to go and notify that there's already been a death, so try not to fuck anything up while I'm gone.
No promises.
It's very encouraging. And fucking finally get that last fucking leather strap tight enough, and I'll head up to the front.
All right, Stevie and Tiny, is there anything you guys are doing while he's making his way over?
No, Stevie is just kind of like trying to wake herself up. She knows that Silva's going to want to get started early.
Silva's already up.
Yeah, no, and she's going to want to get going as soon as possible. And so Stevie's going to try and help with that.
What is Stevie wearing?
Oh my god,
We want to go back to the Discord conversation of how they wear pants. I had an idea, by the way, of a dress. It would be like the ponchos they put over horses. But once it got to the front, it was like a sundress going up the human part.
I'm real pretty and I'm also a horse.
No, he does have mariner's armor, which it's just like a leather armor, like normal, like vest type leather armor. Look at where's my. I have a picture that kind of shows what she's wearing on the top half. She's not wearing anything on the horse half because, like, why? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Fucking style, that's why.
No.
I'm trying to see if you're wearing anything that Tiny can crawl into to hide herself more.
She has
Like
a bit of
or...
she has a bit of like a collar that you can kind of hide in. Like I just send it to the Discord. It's like it kind of like a shawl type thing over the armor that has a bit of a collar that you can kind of
A little cloaky cloak as well, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean it's not like full cloak, but you know.
She looks like if there was a centaur in a CW show, babe. That's what she.
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, you're right.
Fuck up both of you. But yeah, you can kind of hide under the like hood-ish area
Collar,
of
yeah.
cloak
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a hood.
collar. Yeah, I think that is technically a hood.
Yeah, it's like a hood
Yeah.
back.
So you can kind of hop in the hood.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Tiny's gonna do.
Yeah,
She's gonna
if
kind
you're
of
like
be
in
like,
the hood, you could like stand on a fold and literally have your hands on her shoulder, just like looking like this from inside the hood. It'll be
Save
your
a
head and your
horse,
hands over
ride
her
a
shoulder.
centaur.
If Val ever says that to Stevie, she will kiss him.
That's gonna be my bardic inspiration line for you next.
All right, so Thanik, you get up to the car with Steven. You see a guy. He's kind of looking around at everybody, checking everything out. He's got people from all the wagons coming reporting to him. Everything is okay. He's like, yeah, thank you very much.
Excuse me. Are you Steven?
Yes, I am.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news on day 2 of this caravan, but it seems like there's already been a death of some form towards the back of this caravan.
Beat our record. Last caravan, 4 days in.
I believe I was on a caravan once that was within the first 18 hours, but I'll tell you that story another time.
All right, whose wagon are you with?
I'm with Tommen, the one that was killed apparently in the night, is in the cart in front of us, so it should be very near the back.
Oh.
Currently, you can't
Yes.
miss him. He's a larger fellow.
That guy.
He's
with
yeah,
Philip.
not quite as big as me, but compared to you, rather large.
Yeah. Big dude. He's with Philibar. I know exactly who you're talking about. I know Philibar ain't gonna make his way all the way up here, so I'm assuming you'll speak for their wagon.
That's why I'm here.
All right, let's do this. So you see, he out of his pack, he pulls out this gigantic bell, and he starts to ring it. He's like, wagon representatives, please meet in the middle at the community bonfire. And he looks at the fire and it's not lit. And the sun's just starting to come up, and he's like, John, light the fire. Meet in the middle. And you see people start to gather. And after 10 minutes or so, everyone seems to be around. And he's just standing there. Oh, God. Bryce, why? I just looked in the Discord. Really? I did not need that skeleton. Oh, my God. It's Stuff of Nightmares. I knew it was going to be Stuff of Nightmares.
I said a post it. It's been there for 20 minutes.
No, the spine on that needs to be more upright. Like the human spine needs to be more upright.
Yeah.
It was meant to be
I
cursed
just
for that.
went over there when Stevie was showing her picture, and I was talking about the thing, and then I just glanced again and noticed the other picture of it. Anyway, so everyone gathers. Thanik is there. You see all the other wagon leaders come. Now for Sylvie's, she's like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? I guess it's a meeting. We gotta go. She's like, you come with me. Talking to Stevie.
All right. She trots on over there.
So you guys saunter on over there, and you see a person or two from each wagon show up, and you see that one cultist that you guys spoke to the day before also there. And everyone's there, and he's like, Steven's like, all right, someone's dead already. And he looks at Thanik. He's like, he ask, well, how did you find him?
I just was walking around in the morning, doing my morning routine, and saw a leg sticking out of the brush and went over to investigate.
How did he die, man?
All the evidence that I was able to look at while I was there indicates that he was poisoned. There weren't any cuts or any lacerations or stab wounds on the body. He seemed to have sort of bluish veins reaching up out of his neck. Seems to have thrown up at some point in time. So very underhanded, subtle, and if you ask me, cowardly work.
Poison is common on these. It's quite common with dispatching people. Bluish veins, you say? Yeah, it's nightweed. Nightweed. All right. Okay. We're gonna need everybody on extra duty diligence. Okay. I'm gonna find out which one of you fuckers did this. Okay? I better not find another dead guy. Really. One day. We still have a good 30, 40 days ahead of us. And this is what's happening. This can't go on. This cannot go on. Anyone else see anything? Anybody? And everyone's just kind of looking around. No one's speaking up at all. All right. Just keep your eyes open, please. Pay attention to what's happening around you. And if anyone finds out anything, gets information, come tell me right away. You're all dismissed. We'll be moving out in 30 minutes. Make your breakfast. Well, 45 minutes. Make your breakfast, and we'll head on out. And he dismisses everybody.
Stephen, before I go back to my cart, I don't know if it would be useful to have any assistance. I don't know how far your force that you've assembled for this caravan stretches, but I seem to have become aware that there is a certain degree from the largest party of this caravan where no questions will be asked, regardless of about anything, what it is that they're carrying, what it is that they're doing. I don't know much about them, and I don't particularly care, but it seems like based on their attitude after the cart mishap yesterday.
Which wagons are you talking about? You said the largest segment?
Yeah, no, the largest segment of people.
The one
You've
in
got
the middle?
carts in front. Yes, the big segment in the middle, and then all of us in back.
It's a religious sect. They're a bunch of clerics.
All I know is what I've been told, and what I've been told is that they're not accepting questions from anyone. Take it how you will. All I know is what I've been told.
Noted. We'll take a look. But that's the last one I would have guessed had anything to do with this. But I got it noted. We'll take a look. Thank you.
Just keep your eyes peeled. I'll do the same from the back, and I'll head on back. Actually, before I leave, I'll go try and link up with Stevie and Fleur and Tiny.
Okay, yeah, because everyone's kind of just scattering out at this point, so you could do that.
Tiny whispers in Stevie's ear. I can cast a spell for protection on poison.
Oh, well, I think that might be helpful at some point. I don't know if we need it right now. But
if you guys get sick, let me know. Or if you think someone's sketchy, let me know so I can protect you. I need to protect you.
Absolutely. If I start
very comfy to sleep on.
Well, thank you, dear. I'll let you know if I start feeling unwell, and I'll tell everybody else to the same.
I protect you. I touch you, and you know sick.
Noted. I will let everybody else know as well.
I heal. I can heal you.
Oh, well, that'll be very helpful. We get into some scrapes. We'll keep you safe, but we may need that healing at some point.
I'm very, very good at making people feel better. I can make you feel better.
Stevie Druid crafts another little flower for Tiny to play with.
She brings it back into your little collar and starts playing with the flower, tearing out the petals.
And you three are all right up here. Nothing weird and nothing suspicious.
Well, not that I've noticed, but I do take a little bit to wake up in the morning. Fleur's still sleeping. She has not quite woken up yet. I'm gonna get her up once I get back to the wagon.
Just be on your guards. I think we can all guess We can all guess what's happened here. Mal told me that this larger fellow was snooping around and trying to get a look-see at what fell out of the cart yesterday, so I don't think it's any coincidence that he's dead. Don't get me wrong, if you stir up trouble, I'm down for a fight, but if they're using poison, it's hard to defend yourself when you're sleeping.
Well, yeah, but little Tiny here has told me that she can help with poison if necessary. So just keep that in mind. Let Mal know that we do have ways of dealing with that. But we'll definitely keep our eyes open.
Do you know anything of this nightweed?
Would that be a survival? Lunga?
Yeah, since it's investigating. I think it'd be actually nature, because it's a plant.
Nature. Yeah, I'm good at that too. I'm cool with that.
Well, you're a ranger, right?
So awful.
At least I didn't say Kingsfoil.
Yeah, I will. I'll just for funsies roll one as well, because I would have tried to think hard about it whenever I heard the name, but it's a +0. Yeah, it's a 6.
Yeah, I got an 8.
Yeah, I would say you don't. Yeah, with that you don't recall much of the properties. You do know that it's a plant you want to stay away from, kind of like people know poison ivy, something you want to stay away from. But that's about all the knowledge you guys have of it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Well, again, I don't know how any of this works, but if they're going after people in the night, just make sure we've talked about this. Just make sure you've got good guard. Make sure that not everybody's sleeping all at the same time. We cannot make the same mistake.
We'll make sure of that. I'm gonna go wake up Floor.
You have your horn?
Yes, I still have that.
I'll head back to Mal then.
As that's happening, Thanik, you feel something poke you in the butt cheek, and it's gleam silver. Heard there's a little hubbub. You found a dead guy, huh?
Yes, lucky me.
What happened?
Poison. Seems to be some sort of substance called nightweed. I've never run across it in my time before.
Interesting. Well, let's get moving. Also, you might want to be careful, because at the end of this, by the time we get tomorrow morning, we'll probably be ending. I know it's going to sound fucked up. We're going to be ending the Fields of the Dead. Probably the next day or two. It's not a place.
So there's the Fields of the Dead Men before a Mere of the Dead Men.
Well, no. There's the Mere of the Dead Men, and then there's the Fields of the Dead. It's a little different, but just listen. It's not a place you want to fuck around in. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. The road kind of twists and wanders through the hills. Some ancient battlefields, burial mounds. There's a bunch of you can see people have been buried there. The farmers, when they try plowing the fields, now skeletons pop up randomly when they're doing stuff. But the worst part about it is you don't want to be lighting fires when we're on hilltops out there, because the light kind of attracts crazy monsters and shit from all around. And it's also quite a harrowing journey. It takes a couple days to get through there because it's so hilly and winding.
No fires around hilltops. I know we can manage that. I can't speak for the rest of this riffraff, but we shall see. At any rate, we should get back to Tommen. And as we go, I'm just like fucking hard staring at the fucking cult caravan as I'm coming across.
All right, so you guys go across, and I'll say at this point, you travel for a couple days, and I think it's already getting late, and I don't want to get into a bunch of other stuff. So I think we could end this here.
I was just about to say that because we don't have Sophie with us, so if we get into any battles or anything, we don't have her, so that would
And I'm not precluding this as there's a battle coming.
Right, I mean,
there's a million different things that could happen, and
right, but I'm just saying, like, we want her going through the Fields of the Dead. That seems
like that whole wagon thing. wasn't supposed to happen, but the dice and Mal made it happen.
Mal! You fuck face.
They should have thrown me so hard. That's their fault.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It was the dice, because I rolled how hard they threw you, and I looked at the dice and went, oh, shit. Okay. So this happened. And yeah, and that's where we're at. All right. So we'll pick this up next week. Hopefully, Fleur's kitty, Sophie's kitty is doing okay.
I don't. If baby is born on Tuesday, will Friday still be okay to play?
I probably won't be there. I don't know. I don't know exactly the specifics of how it's all going to work out. The nice part about having babies when you already have kids is that you start to play zone defense. So I'll have the two grown ones, and she'll more than likely be taking care of Sam at night.
Immediately goes to the football reference.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to do this in words I can understand.
But yeah, I mean, the long and short of it is, I'll probably miss next week, just to make sure, because I think we'll be coming back from the hospital on Friday, and then the following week we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, like I said, we'll play it by ear. If you have this baby this week, we'll just skip next Friday, and we'll just pick up the weekend.
Yeah, she's scheduled for Tuesday, and Tuesday is like 40 weeks and 3 days, so it'll be Tuesday or before.
We'll just wait. Yeah, we'll just wait. We'll just skip next Friday. We'll pick up the Friday after, just to give you some time to get everything situated and accustomed. Make sure
spend time with Babby.
Okay, and everything.
Spend some time with Babby. So
we'll skip next Friday, and we'll start the Friday after. For those, if there's anyone still watching, or watching on replay. The Souls of Magic's Dawn, we actually delaying because Spencer is going on vacation for a couple weeks, and so we're going to be picking that up August 2nd. Is when, the Tuesday of August 2nd is when we'll be picking Souls of Magic Dawn back up again. No D&D next week, no Hoard or Dragon Queen or Souls of Magic Dawn. We'll pick up Friday after with this one, and then August 2nd with Souls of Magic Dawn. So that's what we'll do, and we'll end it here. So thank you guys for joining us, and until next time, to all of you.